Do I sound like I'm in a hallway? I think I'm in a hallway. Check. Oh, better. Much better. Nateflix standards. Hey everyone, this is Nate with Nateflix, and this is my review of Dracula Untold. Let me talk about Dracula Untold. Let's say what was good, okay? The lead actor, Luke Evans, who plays Dracula, he's pretty good. He's a good actor. I usually like him in everything he's in. That's what was good. Let's talk about everything else. I now feel like I know nothing about vampires because this movie, besides them being like allergic to sunlight and like crucifixes, he had a lot of extra powers, okay? This is a slight spoiler alert, but the dude can like literally turn into 1,000,000 bats, control all the bats in the world. For the visual of when he turns into bats, it is a pretty cool looking, thing, but they overdo it, and they do it to where then it's not cool by the end of it. And also, you may have seen this thing in the trailer where he makes a bunch of bats into a giant punch. Horrible. Even worse than I thought it was gonna be, because he does this, and he like balls up his fist, and all the bats, and he's doing this. He conjures the bats, right? He's like a witch, and he does this. And I can't watch people do this in movies. It makes me uncomfortable. So watching that guy do that for 5 minutes and slap the army with bats was just not a good time for Nate. The fight scenes, not good. There's a few of them. They all are exactly the same. He runs around, turns into bats, hits people, and then turns back into bats, and then hits people, and it's just that, and it's shaking like crazy, so you can't even really see anything. Control clouds, which is an unfair move because he just covers the sun, which then what's the point of them being allergic to the sun if he could just put clouds in front of the sun? It is tremendously dumb. And he makes lightning come out of the clouds too. So apparently he's Thor. He's the Thor of vampires. On top of that, there's no blood. The last vampire movie I watched with no blood was like Twilight. This has the blood level of Twilight, which is not good for something called Dracula. There's like maybe like a trickle like this, or like a little, like a drop somewhere. But he slices people with swords and they just go, "Ugh!" like that, and there's no blood that comes out of them. It is awful. I really didn't like the villain in the movie. I don't know his name, so if they said it, I missed it. I did love his hair though. The guy has impeccable hair. It's like a black wave. It's fantastic. Everything else about him, terrible. I consider myself a pretty, like a film buff, I guess. I watch a lot of movies. And so for me to be totally confused about 11 times, it says something about the movie. Like, when did he learn how to control the clouds? When did he learn how to control the lightning? How come he can't be near all these silver coins? There's a part where there's a fire, and I was pretty sure they're burning a small cart, and when the camera pulls out, it's a house. And I literally asked, what happened to the cart? And was told it's been a house the whole time. It wasn't, I know it, and I want to watch it again to double check. It's not scary. It's a vampire movie. There's no scares, there's no blood. They have like predator vision. I'm trying to think if there's any other redeeming qualities, and I have nothing. It was really, really stupid. And just a couple of other things that really bothered me about the movie. One, it's blue. 80% of the movie is blue. And like, they're always at nighttime and outside, and it's blue. And it made my eyes start to hurt after a while. I started getting a headache. I was like, can I get a sunlight? I won't, because he's a vampire and he'll die if I do, or he'll cover it with a cloud and everything will be blue again. So it's very blue and like Underworld kind of, but for some reason just more harsh to me. It really hurt my eyes. And then the other thing is, I just want to take a second and talk about Dracula. He's the main character. Now, I always assumed he was evil. He's like the embodiment of evil. Yeah, he's like a romantic character in the sense of, like with women are attracted to him and all this kind of stuff. But this guy's just nice. He's a nice man with a family. He literally becomes a vampire to save his wife and child. He's essentially the Maleficent of Dracula. It's like that version where it used to be a bad guy, but now it's a good guy, and that's awful. I don't want to root for Dracula. He's a terrible vampire. He's one of the worst vampires there ever was.
What's the guy you talk to? Is he evil?
There's a vampire that lives in a cave. I don't know his name. His name is Vampire. He lives in a cave. Dracula comes and visits him, and he's like, "Oh, you came back again." And Dracula says, "I want the power to be what you have," basically. And the guy's like, "Okay, fine. drink this. He drips his blood into a skull, and I was worried he was gonna get Hep C the whole time because that skull could have been there for I don't even know how long. He shouldn't have touched that. Anyway, he drinks the blood, and the dude's like, I now get to leave the cave. So he only helped him so that he would be able to leave the cave because there's some kind of spell. Again, another thing that's never explained. It's like, I know you got powers and I want them. Bite me! And he's like, no, that doesn't work in this movie. Apparently they're allergic to gold coins. Or silver coins. The entire final fight with Dracula and the bad guy is on a mountain of silver coins. So I just kept calling the guy Scrooge McDuck because I have no idea what, he's literally cutting bags of coins as they fall out in slow motion, and Dracula's like, oh, no. But he has enough strength to obviously defeat that guy. So they don't work that good. This movie's Maleficent, but with a 13 added onto the rating, PG-13, because it's got, I don't know why. It could have been PG for all I care. It could have been nothing. It should have been Dracula Unseen. 3 out of 10. Skip it. See it. I don't care. It's not that great. Anyway, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends. Watch the other reviews. Let us know what you think. And I don't know what I'm reviewing next, so just keep an eye out. It's going to be probably something good, hopefully. We'll see.